What's up, guys? Welcome back again to your Heroclix headquarters. Today, we're going to take a look at this awesome new Prime James Rhodes from the Black Panther set and do a quick little fun team build with him. Nothing too crazy or meta this time. Just wanted to do something fun for one of my favorite characters. So let's take a look at his card here and take a quick look at what he can do. He's got the shield team ability, which is nice. He has the Stark Industries keyword, which is the only one that really matters because that's what theme team this is. He's got a trait that during forced construction, you may add 5 points to his cost up to 6 times. For each time you choose to do so, add a War Machine drone bystander to your starting force. And then he has leadership, and when he uses it and succeeds after resolutions, you can generate another one of those War Machine bystanders. So you can start with as many as you want. It can be 0 or up to 6. And he does get to just generate them for hitting leadership, but I personally like to start with a few, so I did pay 20 points to start with 4 of them. So it will cost 100 points to add him to the team. Now, just quick note that that doesn't change his actual point value. So for anything that's looking at like the highest point character, blah, 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 whatever, he will still count as 80 points. It's just that once they KO him, they'll get 100 points for him. So he does have improved targeting for elevation and hindering, which is great, you know, especially with all the stealth from the Black Panther set going around now. It's really a lot of stealthy characters, so being able to see them is nice, and sitting through elevation is always good. And he's got a 5 range triple target, 10 movement running shot with flight, 12 attack, 18 defense, 3 damage. And take a look at the back of his card here. Penetrating blast and power. For each War Machine drone bystander, choose an opposing character within range and line of fire of that bystander. Make a ranged attack that targets the chosen characters, regardless of range and line of fire. Hit characters are dealt 2 damage instead of normal damage. So that's pretty much the main reason I'm playing 4 of them, because you can move them all up, and then you can take this power action to essentially shoot through them, targeting up to 4 characters. You know, if we have 4 of them, maybe 5 if we get a 5th one out there from leadership, something like that. Maybe even 6 if we hit both of our leaderships before we move. I don't know. Anyway, point is he can shoot at a lot of characters. It'll be penetrating damage because he does have Pensai. It is a range attack. And yeah, it's within range and line of fire of the drones. So just really quickly, all you have to do, so let's pretend he's one of the bystanders, right? He's here, he generates a bystander here and a bystander here. They have flight and sidestep with a 6 movement, so they can carry each other. You know, one of them can move 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 out, way out here. And, you know, they move up there and they place the other drone in front of themselves. That drone sidesteps, places them in front of them. And then this one can sidestep up even further. So you can get really, really far across the map, like almost all the way across the map by doing a little leapfrogging with the sidestep and carrying and everything. So, and then you also have them all modifying their own ranges with the shield team ability. All the drones have shield TA and actually pretty good stats, 11 attack, 3 damage. So they can actually do some good damage on their own if it gets to that. But yeah, basically we just move them all out. He takes a range attack, shooting through all of them, targeting at least 4 characters for 2 penetrating damage. I think that's a pretty good opening move. Plus, then they're going to have a bunch of drones in their face, so they're going to waste actions shooting at 0-point drones, or maybe have to run through them to get to you. And yeah, it's just going to be, you know, kind of hard to deal with. But he also has this really awesome defense power, giving him energy shield deflection, invincible super senses, and it's protected outwit. So he is not too easy to just run up on and deal with. He is quite a threat by himself. And to add to that, I'm actually just playing the regular rare War Machine from Black Panther as well. So we're just going to play him at the 30-point dial. And we'll take a look at his card here. He just has, the crew trait doesn't really matter. He will still have, technically, his overwhelming firepower trait, so he'll have energy explosion and be able to roll that die at the beginning of the turn to modify his combat values based on what you roll. But yeah, he just has that 1 click at that click number 10, 2 movement sidestep, 9 attack precision, 16 toughness, 1 damage. Where he will have perplex and probability control, and when he uses either, he can only target friendly characters that share a keyword with him, and if he's part of a theme team, he can use them regardless of range and line of fire. So that's what we're going for here. He can perplex and prob you across the map, and that's really awesome. And, you know, Avengers TA, with the Avengers TA, and, you know, if he rolls this and actually, you know, modifies his attack, he can still have like an 11 attack with precision strike, 5 range, triple target energy explosion. So, that's not too bad at all. Honestly, he can kind of surprise you sometimes and make some pretty crazy attacks when you wouldn't really expect it. Now, I do have some equipment for these guys, but I'll get to that in a second. Let's just move on next to the super rare Ant-Man from Collector's Trove, who surprisingly also has Stark Industries keyword, but he's pretty awesome. He has this cool effect that opposing characters within 4 squares can't pick up or equip terrain markers and can't be given close or range terrain actions. So it's actually really good if you barrier, just barrier yourself in. They won't be able to pick up the terrain markers with super strength. It's really good, helps kind of protect your barrier and stuff. And then he has this cool Pin Particles trait, so you can free choose until you choose again. You got tiny size, sidestep, regular size, and power shape change, or giant size with close combat expert and super strength. So it gives him a lot of utility. He can sidestep if needed, he can empower if needed, or he can just start swinging on people if he needs to. He's got a full dial of precision strike, some pretty good stats and powers otherwise, some stealth, and then taking a look at the back of his card, he does have leadership and outwit, and when he uses leadership and succeeds, you may generate a swarm of ants, and if you aren't the first player, increase his leadership result +1. So if you're going second, you get +1 leadership rolls forever, or you just get regular. And every time he hits that leadership, he's going to be spawning out some more ants. So also I love the sculpt on this guy. It's really cool. But yeah, if you guys don't know what the ants do, they are absolutely amazing for only 10 points. Just taking a quick look at them, they have an effect where if an adjacent friendly character named Ant-Man or Wasp is moved or placed after resolutions, you can place them adjacent. So even if he's also tiny or something and he's like carried and placed somewhere, then they can also be placed adjacent, so he kind of takes the swarm of ants with him. And they have a unique modifier that adjacent friendly characters that share a keyword with them get attack +1, which, animal spy, at least Ant-Man does have spy keyword. I don't think anybody else on the team actually shares any keywords with them, but Ant-Man gets a +1 attack, and, they have empower, they have plasticity, poison, and they're only 10 points. So kind of just swarm these around characters, hopefully poison them a few times, or just carry them around for some empower. Either way, they're pretty nasty and pretty cheap, and he can just start popping them out every time he hits leadership. And then last but not least for the team, we have Iron Man, the new uncommon one from Collector's Trove. Looks awesome. And he also has traded leadership, but succeeds on a 4 through 6 if any opposing characters are equipped. And when Iron Man uses it and succeeds after resolutions, you may generate a number 2 Iron Man sentry on click number 1. Do you kind of see where I'm going with this? We have 3 characters here that have leadership, and when they succeed, they generate some type of a drone or something. So yeah, pretty awesome, especially because as long as your opponent has an equipped character, he gets +1 to his leadership rolls, and if you went second, Ant-Man gets +1 to his leadership rolls. So pretty easy to hit some of those, giving you 50-50 odds. Then he also has traded knockback, and when Iron Man knocks back an opposing character, and that character is dealt knockback damage, after resolutions, unequip their equipment. So kind of a double-edged sword, because you don't want to unequip everybody, or also lose the 4 to 6 leadership, but yeah, I mean, just being able to knock somebody back and knock off their equipment is pretty great. We are playing him at 75, so we'll have some sidestep and invincible and outwit. And yeah, otherwise, kind of just there to generate some Iron Man sentries, which, again, if you haven't seen them, take a quick look. It's just kind of a recolored version of him, but they have traded Force Blast and Force Blast as free, but only to target an equipped character. So pretty heavy on, hating equipped characters here, but just Force Blasting people back, keeping them away from us is kind of what we want, because we want to just keep spawning out minions and having them do the dirty work. And these guys are great for only 20 points. They got 5 clicks of life, with some toughness, regen, and a bunch of enhancement, 4 range. Yeah, nothing too crazy, but you pop out a few of these guys, and all of our range attacks are going to be doing a ton more damage. And actually, let me just move everybody closer. I kind of just realized I am a little too zoomed in and cutting them all off. But let's take a quick look at the equipment I've got here. So number 1, we're giving the trick arrows to the Prime War Machine here. He's our main attacker, so he needs some kind of really good equipment to, utilize. And the trick arrows are the best one. Obviously, I'm not going to go through all of them. Like I shown before, there's a million different trick arrows that all do different things. I actually have 3 of each arrow. You can play 3 of each arrow. So if you didn't know, whenever you equip these, you pick 3 arrows at the beginning of each game, and they can all be the same ones, so long as you have 3 of each card. It doesn't really matter. And, they all do different things. The main ones here, I would say, you're definitely going to want at least 1 of the big arrow. Maybe a 2 dangerous arrow is really good too, but the big arrow lets you, after you hit, you can basically do a quake for free. So the main thing here is, once you move up all of your drones, he's going to shoot through all of them, do 2 penetrating damage to everybody, and you can drop a quake arrow on all of them as well. So you can do a lot of damage that way, and then you got the knockback, everything too. So that's really awesome. And like I was saying with Ant-Man, he kind of protects us. He kind of protects our barriers from being picked up. We don't have any barrier though. That does change with the Dream Ruby. It gives barrier and shape change. If they can already use shape change, when they use it and succeed after resolutions, you can deal the attacker damage equal to the attacker's printed damage value. So that's awesome. There's 2 ways you can go about this. Me personally, I actually put this on War Machine, the 30-point War Machine, because he's really not doing anything for the team besides sitting there and using Perplex and Prob, regardless of range and line of fire. So he can take a few actions to barrier up, right? It won't hurt us at all. We're not losing really a main attacker or anything. Because I feel like Ant-Man's going to be doing more running around, punching stuff occasionally, but honestly, you could put this on Ant-Man. Ant-Man's not doing a whole lot either. He can be carried if you want to make him tiny size. And if you make him regular size, he will get shape change, which will mean he'll have shape change, which will mean he'll already have shape change, which means if he succeeds at it, they take damage back. So that's pretty good too. I think either way is fine. Like I said, when I played this team, I put it on him, and he just barriered, and he was actually, going out and doing stuff. Plus, it kind of just helps give him another layer of defense. He's only got a 16 toughness. Giving him some shape change actually gives him a little more chance of survival, but, it goes both ways. He doesn't always have shape change, but when he does, this is really deadly on him. But yeah, so you could go either way with that. I think it's fine personally. And then last but not least, we're using our last 10 points on a universal weapon. You really could do anything with these 10 points. You could play some one-shots or something, but personally I chose to give the universal weapon to our Iron Man here. At the beginning of the turn, you get to choose any attack power, so it gives us access to TK if we need to TK something out. To get a little extra reach on somebody. I think that's really useful. Also, getting some penetrating blast or pulse wave or whatever we might need is also really good, because he is basically our secondary attacker. He's our main attacker. The drones are really doing most of the work here, but we really want him to be able to do something also. Ant-Man's kind of just here to, deal with the threats that do come up close, so you can turn giant and kind of punch them. But yeah, that's pretty much the team. Just a fun Stark Industries theme team. So yeah, there's the equipment objects for those ones. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about the team in the comments below. Have you guys had any success with this Prime War Machine? I'd love to talk about any teams you've built with him, because, like I said, War Machine's one of my favorite characters. I really like this Prime version, and I kind of want to play around with him some more. But if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to smash that like button, and don't forget to click that subscribe button so you don't miss any future videos. And if you'd like to help support the channel even more, check the links in the description for the Patreon, so you can see your name here in the credits with all these other awesome people. And for as little as $1 a month, you get entered into my monthly giveaways. So if that interests you, check that out. But that's going to do it for this one, you guys. Thanks again so much for watching. Until next time, this has been Heroclix Headquarters, signing off.